Hey everyone, welcome back to Jungkook News. Today we're diving into a moment that might look simple at first, but trust me, it's way bigger than you think. A BTS song has quietly crossed 100 million streams, without the noise, without the hype, and the story behind how it happened is something that's going to change the way you see this track forever, because this isn't just about numbers, it's about something deeper that fans around the world are only just beginning to realize. Something unexpected is happening, and fans are only just starting to realize how big this moment truly is. They Don't Know About Us has quietly crossed a massive milestone: 100 million streams. No loud announcement, no massive campaign, just pure, steady love from listeners around the world. And somehow, that makes this achievement feel even more powerful. Because this isn't just about numbers, it's about connection. From the very first note, this song carried a certain emotion, something intimate, something that felt almost personal. It wasn't designed to be the loudest track, it didn't rely on flashy moments or viral trends. Instead, it built its legacy slowly, through late-night listens, quiet replays, and fans who kept coming back not because they had to, but because they wanted to. And now, 100 million streams later, that quiet impact is impossible to ignore. What makes this even more interesting is how the song continued to grow over time. There was no single explosive moment that pushed it to the top. Instead, it moved differently, like a wave that never really stopped. Each day, more people discovered it, more fans connected with it, and before anyone fully noticed, it had already reached a number that most songs can only dream of. It's a kind of success that feels organic. And for fans, especially those who have been paying close attention, this milestone feels deeply meaningful. Because they've seen the journey. They've seen how this track lived in the background, how it stayed consistent, how it never faded, even when new songs came and went. There's something almost poetic about that. In a world where music often moves fast, where songs trend one day and disappear the next, this track chose a different path. It stayed, it endured, and it slowly built something lasting. And maybe that's why the reaction right now feels so intense. Fans aren't just celebrating the number, they're celebrating what it represents. The memories tied to the song, the emotions it carried, the moments it soundtracked in their lives. For many, this isn't just a milestone, it's a reminder of why they connected with the music in the first place. And when you think about it, that's what makes this moment so special. Because 100 million streams isn't just a statistic, it's millions of choices. Millions of times someone pressed play, felt something, and decided to stay just a little longer. And now, that quiet, steady love has turned into something undeniable. A global milestone, built not on hype but on heart. And if you look even closer, there's another layer to this story that makes it even more compelling. Moments like this don't just happen, they reflect something deeper about the artist and the audience. There's a reason why a song like this continues to grow long after its release. It speaks to a certain honesty, a kind of emotional clarity that doesn't fade with time. And that's something not every track can achieve. For many listeners, this song feels like a safe space, a place they can return to when everything else feels overwhelming. It's the kind of track that doesn't demand attention but quietly earns it. And over time, that quiet presence becomes unforgettable. You can almost imagine how many different stories are connected to those 100 million streams. Someone listening during a late-night drive, someone replaying it after a long day, someone discovering it for the very first time and instantly feeling understood. Each stream carries a moment, and together, they build something much bigger than just a number. And let's be honest, this kind of growth says a lot about consistency. Because while trends come and go, while algorithms shift and attention spans get shorter, songs like this remind us that real impact doesn't need to rush. It builds slowly, naturally, and when it finally reaches a milestone like this, it feels earned in a completely different way. There's also something powerful about how the fans have embraced this journey. Not in a loud or overwhelming way but in a steady, loyal rhythm. They kept the song alive, they kept listening, and in doing so, they turned something subtle into something global. That kind of support, it can't be manufactured. And now, as this milestone becomes part of the song's story, it adds a new meaning to every future listen. Because from this point on, every stream isn't just part of the journey, it's part of a legacy that continues to grow. So when people see 100 million streams, they might just see a number. But for those who truly understand, it's so much more than that. And what makes this moment even more fascinating is how it continues to evolve even after reaching such a major milestone. Because hitting 100 million streams doesn't mean the journey stops, it actually opens a new chapter. A chapter where the song is no longer just growing, but solidifying its place in the bigger picture of BTS's musical legacy. It becomes one of those tracks that people will look back on and say, "This was special, this meant something." There's also a quiet confidence in achievements like this. No need for validation, no need for constant attention. The numbers speak, but more importantly the consistency speaks. It shows that even without being in the spotlight every single day, a song can still thrive, still resonate, still matter. And that says a lot about the artistry behind it. Because at the core of everything, it always comes back to the music. The feeling it creates, the way it lingers, the emotions it carries long after the song ends. That's the kind of impact that doesn't fade with time, it grows stronger with every listen. It's also worth noticing how new listeners are still discovering the track. Even now, even after all this time, people are pressing play for the first time and experiencing that same feeling fans felt from the beginning. That sense of connection, that quiet pull that keeps them listening just a little longer. And in a way, that's how a song becomes timeless. Not by being everywhere all at once, but by always being there when someone needs it. This milestone also creates a ripple effect. It draws attention back to the song, sparks curiosity, invites more people to explore it. And as that happens, the cycle continues, more streams, more listeners, more stories being added to its journey. It never really ends. And maybe that's the most powerful part of all. Because long after the headlines fade, long after the numbers continue to rise, the song will still be there, playing in someone's headphones, echoing in someone's thoughts, becoming part of someone's memory. And that's when you realize, this was never just about reaching 100 million. It was about everything that came with it, and everything that's still to come. So what do you think about this incredible milestone, and what does this song mean to you personally? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next update, because trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.